Understanding the sun in Scorpio is not really any different than understanding any planet in any sign. What you need to do first is understand what the planet symbolizes, and what you need to do second is understand what the sign symbolizes. When you're really clear about those two things, you can combine the two pretty easily. When you combine them, what you want to do is look for things that are resonant with each other, things that are on the same page, something that the planet represents that the sign also represents. And you want to ask yourself if the planet and the sign are in agreement about this thing or in disagreement. Where they are in agreement about that issue, there will be a harmonious resonance, which produces positive or easy or good results. And where they're in disagreement about that thing, you have a dissonant resonance, which indicates problematic or challenging results. So let's apply that principle to the sun in Scorpio and see what we get. The first thing to note about sun in Scorpio is that the sun is a very visible planet. It's a planet of the daytime. It's very super bright. It makes things visible and clear, and it's a very public planet. Scorpio, on the other hand, is in disagreement about this. Scorpio is very mysterious. Scorpio is secretive and hidden. So this is an example of a dissonant resonance between the planet and the sign, and it produces challenging results under normal circumstances. Maybe the sun in Scorpio is blessed by the particular degree that it occupies or by some aspect, but under normal circumstances, there's going to be a problem arising on this theme about introversion versus extroversion, or hiding things versus showing things. And that's the main issue with the sun in Scorpio. Things like blurting out a secret or keeping things secret that aren't necessary to be secret, introverting when you should be extroverting, extroverting when you should be introverting. The next thing to bring to your attention is that the sun is all about authority figures, leaders, people who make things clear and decisive, right? So the sun is the authority planet. Scorpio, however, is the sign of rebelliousness, independentness, defiance. So there's another clash or dissonant resonance between the sun being the authority figure and Scorpio being the rebel. So typically, under normal circumstances, what to expect from the sun in Scorpio is a person who's not particularly trusting, especially of somebody who presents themselves as an authority. They'll be confrontational with authority. They'll be rebellious against authority. They'll want to do things their own way, not the way that they've been told to do them. And they'll be bold and daring about that. They're not afraid to go their own way. The third significant thing about sun in Scorpio comes to the positive side now. The sun is the signifier of stability. Everything revolves around it. Everything is based on it. Scorpio also is a fixed sign, and it's about strength. Belongs to Mars, right? So Scorpio has strong stability to it, and the sun has strong stability to it. But Scorpio's particular type of stability is watery. It's a water sign. So it has strong emotions. So when you hold these two things up together, you can see it as a kind of harmonious resonance between the sun and Scorpio. So you get a pretty good result from this, which is along the lines of the person having strong feelings, strong opinions, strong passions. And finally, there's one thing about the sun in Scorpio which is very harmonious. The sun signifies the self, and Scorpio is belonging to Mars signifies independence and individuality. So individuality and self are pretty close to being on the same page, and they're pretty close to being in agreement about that same page. So you get a good effect here. The effect typically is the sun in Scorpio indicates a unique person. They're not a run-of-the-mill person. They're different. They're individualistic. They stand out from the rest, and they have the confidence to do so. They have self-confidence. So those are the basic building blocks of what sun in Scorpio represents under normal or theoretical circumstances. You will always modify the theoretical stuff by the actual context of the chart itself and the other factors that affect the sun. But without learning really clearly what the theory is behind Sun in Scorpio, you won't have any luck modifying the baseline. So it's really important to get this down pat and really understand what I'm talking about here. And more important than the particular outcomes that I identified in the 1 through 4 list, more important is to understand the mechanics at work behind those conclusions. What's harmonious with what? What's disharmonious with what when you put the sun in Scorpio? If you learn that, you'll really be progressing on the road to understanding how to use astrology. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this video. I've got tons of other videos in the same subject of putting planets in signs and seeing what they are. Make sure you check all those out and subscribe so you don't miss the new ones coming up. Thank you.